And now let's go straight into our panel. First question. Are you ready?
Ready?
Ready.
First question. What inspired you to start your own business? Maybe we'll start with Captain first.
First of all, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. What inspired me to put up my own business? So, siguro aware naman po kayong lahat na wala naman pong seaman na sumakay ng barko or preferred ang pagbabarko kung maraming pera. So, just to inform you, ako po ay laking squatter lang. Wala po akong pampaaral noon. Ang pangarap ko talagang course is architecture. Kaya lang lagi ako napapapila sa promissory note noon sa FEU eh. Kaya hindi ko na-pursue yung architecture. Naghanap ako ng other way para makagraduate ako. And yun yung pagbabarko. So pagsampa ko ng barko, okay naman. Maganda yung kita, malaki ang sweldo. Pero nagtataka ako, lumilipas yung ilang taon, yung mga kasama ko, yung mga nauna sa akin, tumatanda na lang sila, nasa barko pa rin sila. And then, dumating yung time when they reach around 55, 60, yung iba 63, sumasakay pa rin sila ng barko and wala pa rin silang ipon. So sabi ko sa sarili ko noon, hindi ko hahayaan na dumating ako sa age na 45 na sumasakay pa rin ako ng barko. Kasi nakita ko sa mga kasama ko, gusto pa nilang sumakay pero hindi na kaya ng health condition nila. So ending, they end up retiring ng walang kaplano-plano. So that is the main reason that inspired me na mag-put up ng sarili kong business and tumigil sa pagbabarko at the age of 42. Yun lang po.
Okay, thank you, Carl. Captain. Now, Carl, please. In your case, ano naman ang naging inspiration, motivation to be an entrepreneur?
Thank you, Joseph. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Lumipad po kami galing Dubai para umattend po sa event na to. Thank you for inviting us. Ano ang inspiration? One, been OFW for 20 years. Tulad ni Cap, lumaki po kami sa squatter. No? Landed in Dubai 2006. 20 years after. Nag-start sa sweldo na 1,800. Let's round about 20,000 pesos. Uupa ka, kakain ka, mamamasahe ka. And then you go up to the ladder. And then the last job that I had was a senior account director. But then I was thinking the kids are growing. No, lumalaki yung mga bata. Is that something that you really wanted to do, 8 to 5 job? You don't see them because my job was into events. And it takes so much time, no off sometimes in a month. And then I think about it, why not be the boss of your own? Kaya naman. As we go along with this discussion, I can share more. But then again, yun yung calling eh. The calling is, it's about time for you to get out of that comfort zone and do something and challenge yourself and be an entrepreneur. And that's where everything started.
Okay, thank you, Carl. Sinong mas pogi sa kanilang dalawa? By this time, you probably could have guessed na magkapatid po sila. Ano?
Unfortunately.
There you go. Tapos dinig sila gulat. Mamaya na yung sagot, baka mamaya na. Kausapin nyo na lang sila. So Nico, sa'yo naman, what key lessons from working overseas help shape your entrepreneurial mindset? Anong nakatulong sa'yo based on your experience working abroad?
For me po, working, same kami po ni Kuya, nauna lang siya ng 1 year sa akin. So being in abroad for like almost 20 years, being exposed with a lot of cultures and a lot of mentality, the way the habits, is ma-form talaga sa iyo yung pagiging malawak mo ng isip na sa amin noon ang key lessons ko noon, especially sa career ko po kasi is that same company po kami for 15 years and I was the studio director when I left the company. Yung experiences ko working with different nationalities that really nagbigay ng ibang mindset sa akin, building my own business naman towards with the Filipinos. So especially doon is that yung mindset na kailangan hindi siya pang Filipino lang. It has to be for everyone.
Yeah. Kausap ko po sila kanina, ang kanilang restaurant sa Dubai, Japanese restaurant. So now they have 2 branches, and in the midst of this crisis, they're about to open a 3rd branch in Dubai. And maliban dyan, ay itong nakakamangha, very inspiring, to bring a Japanese restaurant to Japan. Yan po ang puso, the heart of the global Pinoy. Kaya sabi ko, pagganda ng kwento ninyo, I hope this can inspire fellow Filipinos abroad and here and the Filipino families. Who, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, every year, 2 trillion pesos worth of remittances po ang tinatanggap natin dito sa Pilipinas through the efforts of our global Pinoys. But only 6 to 11% of the remittances get invested in businesses. So sana naman, balang araw, maliban sa mag-ambisyon tayo na maging overseas Filipino worker, we can also convert all the efforts of our Filipinos abroad, like Captain Marlon here, to investing in opportunities dito sa ating bayan para tayo naman ay maging employer din. Di ba? And then from that point of view, let us ask Trixie. Trixie, how does your international exposure influence your leadership and business decisions, being a business owner yourself?
My international exposure and then here, no? Okay. Because in my case, Sir Joseph, and friends, iba po eh. Parang I live there just because my son is there, my in-laws are there, so 6 months a year. Pero dito nanggagaling yung kabuhayan ko. Baliktad, no? So, papadala ko doon. Sabi ko, ano ba itong ginagawa ko? But the thing is, I don't know if I will be opening my own company in Germany next time. But what I see, pwede ko siyang baliktarin, no? In Germany kasi, alam niyo po ba pag Sunday doon, sarado lahat. Parang restaurant lang yung open, tapos sarado lahat sila. And syempre, weirdo ako na, saan ako pupunta? Or what's going on? Why? Nakita ko na sila, they value yung rest, yung ganyan, yung talagang, sa Pilipino hindi pwede. Kung pwede ka pang mag-open ng in-between Sunday and Monday, kung bakit doon, it's different. And then doon, Sir Joseph and friends, again, sa kanila, magugulat na lang ako, pagtingin ko sa restaurant or sa store, ay, sabi nila, wir sind in Urlaub. Meaning to say, nasa vacation sila. So, 1 month silang wala. Dito, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yon. Pag ginawa mo dito, kunyari sa SM, mapipenalty ka, yung ganyan. So, parang with that, parang sabi ko, oh, it's a bit different. Na, obviously, it's culture thing na doon, parang it's a right, yung pagbabakasyon, ganyan. So, iniisip ko nga, ano ba to? Hard work, yung Pinoy ba talaga sobrang workaholic? Na tinitingnan ko, ano yung balance? Kasi ang sarap, di ba? Kung ganun, parang, okay, you can close anytime. So, all the more na nandun ako, all the more that I feel like, you know what, it's important talaga to rest. Hindi siya, when you rest, it's really needed because it's also work. So, for me and for my staff, so yung wellness, yun yung naka-influence sa leadership ko na, you know, Trixie, hindi. You really have to stop. It's not all about numbers. It's not all about hitting that well-being of the people. So in a way, I think, good.
Okay.
So that aspect of leadership, I'm able to bring here.
Good, very good. So, but I imagine, for the gentlemen here, when you were starting out as entrepreneurs, marami kayong challenges. Ano-anong mga yun, and how did you find the balance that Trixie has learned?
Ako na lang
Sige.
muna siguro, sir. Okay, so at a young age, naging kapitan ako ng barko, 33. So during our time, masyadong bata yon para maging kapitan. So medyo naging aggressive ako sa pagpuput up ng business. Kasi akala ko, kung naging successful ako sa barko, magiging successful din ako sa pagnenegosyo. But hindi eh. Hindi ganon yung nangyari. So ang dami kong in-start na business and most of the business na pinutap ko failed. So bumalik ulit ako sa pagbabarko and then I encourage my wife to assist me in running the business. So napaka-importante talaga para sa kagaya naming mga seafarer, mga OFW, na kung papasok kami sa negosyo, dapat meron kaming matibay na partner. Someone na magtitingin habang kami nasa ibang bansa at kumikita ng pera.
So napakahalaga talaga ng partner in life. So sinasabi ko rin sa mga staff ko yan, one of the key success factors is choosing well. So I think you just validated it. In your case, Carl, ano naman ang naging kwento mo in terms of the many challenges and then how did you find balance after some time?
Challenge, ang dami, Joseph, no? It's really hard to do one by one. One of the biggest challenge, I think, is that I am in a comfort zone where yung salary every month, malaki. You have benefits, you have yearly bonus, you travel the world, you have 20 staff that works for you. Lahat yun, meron kang galamay, and then all of a sudden, you go on your own. We in Ichiryu, when we open up Ichiryu, kami, magkakapatid, ang naghuhugas ng pinggan. For the first 3 months ng restaurant, he cleans the table, I wash the dishes, chef cooks. Yun yung routine namin. Matatapos kami ng alauna, magsasara kami, magre-replenish ka, gigising ka ng alas 7, papasok ka uli. Uulitin mo yun, 3 buwan. So imagine mo yung challenge na komportable ka na, magandang sweldo, tapos pupunta ka sa isang bagay na hindi ka sigurado. But then again, you just have to follow it. You just have to follow your guts. Sinugal mo siya. Eto siya, sama-sama tayo, samahan natin ng dasal. Amen. Sa 3 taon po, nagtaging 3 taon po ang Ichiryu nung Monday. And we're opening up another one. We opened last year another one. We just recently hired people from the Philippines last Wednesday. So, everything is actually, I can say, history. So, yung challenge na yun, kung papansinin niyo po, madidisappoint kayo kagad. Wala po kami ngayon dito na nakaupot kaharap po namin kayong lahat.
Thank you for that. Palakpakan po natin. So, marami kang battle scars. In your case naman, Nico, ano yung idadagdag mo doon sa sabi ni Kuya? Nagalit ka ba na pinagugas ka ba ng pinggan? Idea
Galit
mo
na
to
galit.
Ikaw muna maging entrepreneur. Tapos, kasama pala ako rito sa hirap.
No, totoo po yan. Yung challenges namin nung from start. Kala ko nga po nung nasa agency ako kasi sa creative side namin, lagi kami may deadline. So sanay ako ng madaling araw ang tulog, then gising ulit. So kala ko, nung magpuputap ako ng business, it's gonna be easier. But it's the other way around. It's longer hours. But the thing is that, managing or working for a company and now owning your own company is a lot different. Na ngayon, meron ng mga kaming responsibilities, especially sa mga staff namin. I think yun yung pinaka-drive namin on why we're doing this. Even we ask ourselves na nagsisimula kami that, are we really sure na gagawin natin to? But then again, I think it's the calling nung pagpapalaki sa amin ng dad namin to actually share kung ano man yung meron kami sa iba.
Okay. Thank you. Kanina pinag-usapan ho namin, dati tumatanggap ng sweldo. Ngayon, ang una nilang objective every month, maitawid yung payroll ng kanilang mga empleyado. So, nakangiti si Trixie. How is that process like? At paano yung transition? Na ikaw sa mong sweldo dati, ngayon isipin mo bago mo sweldo ang sarili mo, iba muna. Eh, come on.
Okay, masarap sa pakiramdam. Gusto ko nang sabihin yun. In my entire life, kasi Sir Joseph, 1 year lang ako nagtrabaho nagtrabaho sa government, so as employee. But then, yun guys, ko, ay, hindi ko kaya to. Hindi ako pang ganito. Gusto ko own ko yung time ko. Yun pala, 24/7 iniyon, di ba? So, ngayon, I feel that leadership now is, it's a privilege. Noong umpisa, feeling ko burden. Ganun. Hindi, sanay kasi ako, kung saan ako nanggaling, one-man team. Lahat. Sales, gagawin mo everything. Hanggang sa ngayon, natututo ako, I'm humbled by the privilege of being a leader na nag-iiba yung calling mo sa buhay, sir. Ganun pala yun? Or tumatanda lang ako, hindi ko alam. Na parang ngayon, nag-iiba yung purpose na parang sila muna. Puro ganun, di ba? Ganun siya. Sila muna. Sige, kahit mamaya na ako sa sweldo, kayo muna talaga. Itatawid mo, gagawin at gagawin mo talaga lahat para sa kanilang lahat.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Kanina, Captain, sabi mo, isa sa mga natutunan mo, the importance of being complimented or supported by your wife. Ano pa ang mga success factors para makapag-transition ng maayos from overseas work to entrepreneurship?
Okay, so success factor para sa mga kagaya naming OFW na magta-transition sa pag-business dito sa lupa. So, most of the financial decisions na ginagawa ng mga kagaya kong OFW is out of fear, out of pressure. Hindi nila alam na hindi naman talaga pera ang problema nila, but it is the lack of self-awareness. Pagpapasok sila sa negosyo or kapag halimbawa mag-spend sila ng pera, the question that I usually ask them is, who are you listening to? Are you listening to your own voice? Are you listening to the old you? Are you listening to the noises of expectations? Are you listening to the limiting beliefs that you have? Or are you listening to the future you? Are you listening to the better or best version of you? So, ang masasuggest ko lang, hindi naman kulang sa knowledge ang mga kagaya naming mga OFW. Kulang lang sila sa awareness. Na meron silang mga patterns, meron silang mga beliefs na hindi nila alam. So para sa akin, financial literacy is more about self-awareness for you to recognize paano mo mailalagay yung sarili mo sa tamang state before you make a decision. Kasi kahit gaano ka katalino, sir, ma'am, hindi mo ma-apply yung knowledge mo kung galit ka or may dinadamdam ka. So, yun lang, sir.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Mag-usap tayo maya-maya, ha? Behind the stage lang. Sa inyong namang dalawang magkapatid, you sound it like so easy. Kasi in a span of how many years? 3 years. 3 branches in Dubai. And then expanding pa in the land of the rising sun. Ramen to Japan. So, parang walang maling ginawa. But were there any mistakes that you committed? Ano-ano mga yon? At tulungan mo naman kami, maiwasan na lang namin kung kami naman ang magnenegosyo. Nico, please.
Yeah.
Nico.
Actually, sa salagay naman po kasi namin is that ang unang kagandahan bago yung mga mali is that may kanya-kanya po kaming roles. I think ang napaka-important po niyan sa isang business na kanya-kanya kayo ng specialties, hindi pwedeng dalawang parehas. Kasi diyan nagsisimula ang conflict. So sa akin ang design, kasi kay Kuya na nasa Japan ngayon yung food, and then sa kanya yung operations. And then meron kaming isa about the managing the people. Pagdating naman sa mali is that, we did a lot of mistakes. Ang isa dyan is that hindi kami marunong mag-operate ng restaurant. Yun yung unang-unang mistake. It's not a mistake, but then again, ang kagandahan kasi sa amin is that we were willing to learn. May konti kaming background kay Kuya as a chef, pero kami, we were agency people. So we are client side. So kung meron mang mali is that hindi namin alam how to dispatch the food, kung paano ang prepping time and ano. But along the way, ang open kasi kami doon sa, I think ang key kung bakit man kami narating within 3 years is ganito yung is that open talaga kami sa adaptability. I mean, not all the things that you will try is gonna work, 100%. But then again, find the way, that sweet spot, which one works, and then I think in everything is gonna go in history.
Okay. So, very humble lang kasi itong si Nico. He is a world-class designer, the go-to person of multinational brands in the United Arab Emirates. So, Kuya, siguro mali nga na paghugasin siya ng pinggan. Hindi niya strength yun, learning.
Gumana yung pagiging bata kasi. So, I think hindi naman siguro pagkakamali, Sir Joseph. I think it's about, if you really wanted to open up a business, especially in this industry, like us, restaurant business, Hindi niyo po na itatanong, we have 5 other companies, no? We have Ichirio Ramen House, Taco Ichiban House, we have Kizuna Journal Trading, which Nico's handling, we have House of Hanya, and we have Okiru Events and Management. So the 3 of them is being handled by him, 2 of them are mine. So hindi siguro yung challenge, siguro sa amin is that be ready dun sa paghawak ng tao. The challenging part is handling the manpower, no? That's where all the challenges, all the dramas, and especially us as an OFW, lilipad yan, manggagaling yan dito, ang dami niyang issue sa buhay, right? Hindi issue, I mean, ang dami ng challenges sa buhay, binenta ko yung kalabaw ko, paano ko babayaran si nanay, pamiutang sa ganito. Siguro it's just how do you handle them, how you support them, no? Kasi when they go to that country, wala na silang pamilya eh. It's you as their family. So us as a support, we treat them as a family member. And we just have to make sure na no matter what happens, we're just here as your kuya or ate or nanay, how do you want to call us? But there's someone here who's helping you out to survive yung at least 2 taon mo dun sa abroad.
Now, itong ginagawa kasi natin is like creating a new mindset, as Captain said, no? From being small-minded, hanggang dito lang ako, to being ambitious in the sense na papunta nga kayo sa ibang bansa. In a sense, you are conquering another territory, whereas dati tayo yung vanquished parate, no? So, to me, as someone in the business of media and platform, parang napakagandang niyan, pamana sa next generation. And you represent a new breed of people, Filipinos, with global mindset. At ito ngayon ang ating siguro impact that we can leave the next generation. So in one sentence, let's start with Trixie. What advice would you give to overseas Filipinos and their families dreaming of becoming entrepreneurs, whether abroad or here in the Philippines, in the case of Captain?
1 sentence.
Or 2. May time pa kami.
Siguro this could be a very good appeal for them. If they're already successful overseas, it's okay to stay there, di ba? Kanya-kanyang buhayan. But maybe they could consider coming back, helping more Filipinos right here, scale up, and inspire more Filipinos right here. Kasi yun ang pag-asa ng Pilipinas. Salamat po.
Thank you, Trixie. Captain?
Okay, isang sentence lang, parang ang hirap.
No, okay lang. Okay lang.
Okay, so to my fellow seafarers, OFWs, and their families listening or possibly watching right now, the best or the perfect opportunity to put up your business is now. Kasi yung perfect opportunity na yon hindi talaga darating. The more na dinedelay mo yung action, the more na nade-delay yung opportunity para sa'yo. But before you invest sa business, you have to invest doon sa tao who will make the decision for the business. Which is tayo, ikaw, si anak mo, si asawa mo. So right now, despite me having a lot of business, continuous pa rin ang learning ko. And to be honest, I am under the Success Blueprint course ni MJ Lopez. Pwede nyo siyang i-search sa Facebook. Marami kayong matututunan sa kanya, especially sa pattern recognition. So yun lang, sir.
Okay, thank you. Carl?
Marami ako nakikita dito na bata pa. And I'm so happy to see this kind of people kasi meaning yung vision nila, they're preparing for something in the future. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but in the future. Huwag niyong iiwanan muna yung trabaho ninyo. What you do is try to save some money, go do some plans, put some goals, small, medium, and long-term goals. What do I want to achieve? Para saan ba to? Ano ba tong gagawin ko? And then, keep doing it, plan it, do it slowly. Pag nadapa, bangon uli, tuloy uli. nadapa, bangon uli, hindi ka pwedeng panghinaan ng loob, no? Kami late na po kami nagnegosyo. I was, I'm 49 now, minus 3, 46 years old when I started my business, our business. Pero hindi pa po huli ang lahat, right? Kasi sasabihin nila, 35, dapat may negosyo ka na, dapat settle ka na. No, I was 46. So hindi po huli ang lahat. Dapat you go slow. And then once you think that that's it, eto na yung big time ko, then you resign. Eto na, ako na ang boss. Yeah, hindi po imposible kasi kung kinaya po namin, hindi naman po kami special na tao. Kami po yung ordinaryong tao lang. Ulitin ko po, kami po yung lumaki sa squatter. May araw na hindi po kami kumakain ng 3 beses ang araw. Sa totoo lang, di kami nakakapamasahe. Actually, naglalakad nga po kami papuntang school kasi walang pamasahe. Minsan, 1, 2, 3 pa sa jeep. Sorry po, mali ang ginawa. Pero kailangan just to survive. But then, where we are at the moment, kaya nyo rin po. And you challenge yourself. One day, magkikita po tayo doon. Kayo naman po, nandyan po kami sa baba.
Thank you. How inspiring, Carl. Nico?
So for me naman po, so when it comes sa business, ang advice ko lang po is that stop thinking about things that you cannot control. Like, hindi mo talaga makokontrol, especially with what's happening us in the Middle East now, is that we have some unique times. But then again, we cannot do anything about it. But what we can do is how to react about it. So what we do is that for us, we need to make sure muna na safety ang staff namin, secured ang pangkabuhayan nila, pangkabuhayan namin, and then we can survive this. And any business naman, masusurvive nyo naman. Hindi man kayo kumita ngayon, it's okay. But that for as long as we're together, again, the values that we are giving them or we are teaching them, the same values na kinalakyan namin as a family. So, stop thinking about things you cannot control. Okay lang yan. Then focus on what you can.
Thank you very much. Palakpakan po natin ang ating mga panelists. We have time for 2 or 3 questions. Ang mabilis lang po. So, sinong magiting na magtatanong sa ating panelists? Yes, please. Someone give her a microphone or come forward, please, para mabilis tayo. And then yung susunod po magtatanong, please line up already in front of the stage. In the interest of time, please identify yourself and then you can ask any of the panelists.
So, good afternoon to our panelists. I'm Gracia. I'm the head of marketing for JK Capital Finance. So, we're a business financing company. Now, of course, I'm going to ask something quite related to my line of work, but from your perspective. As masters of turning capital into opportunities and meeting a lot of the entrepreneurs here, do you think that fast and accessible access to financing is changing the confidence and the mindset of entrepreneurs? Like, are they more confident to start their business now than tomorrow or 10 years after?
Pwedeng ako na lang sumagot, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay, Ma'am Gracia, thank you very much for your question. No? So, first of all, gusto ko lang linawin na growing up as a seafarer, kami pong mga seaman, pag nangutang kami, mahinang klaseng seaman kami. Kaya nung nag-start ako ng business, instead na mangutang, ang ginawa ko, binenta ko ang lahat ng property na napundar ko sa negosyo. But that is a very painful lesson for me. After na nabenta ko lahat ng mga property ko, tsaka na dumating yung mga bangko, yung mga company na kagaya nyo. So ayaw ko pa rin, pero sila ang nagpaliwanag na, sir, palalampasin mo ba yung opportunity or you're going to manage the risk ng paglo-loan ng pera? Sasagutin ko yung tanong mo, ma'am, yes, napaka-importante na merong mga katulad ninyo na magtitiwala sa amin, sa vision na namin. So, yun po, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Gracia. Any other questions? Did you have a follow-up question?
No, I just want to thank sir for his answer. Kasi what we try to do is marketing is so aggressive. Even when I used to work for Seaman Loan. But I just want to hear your perspective because we also have to change our messaging na puso sa puso. You started a business with a heart. And so we want to do financing and offer financing without feeling like you're just a number. So thank you for your answer.
Thank you rin, ma'am, for a very good question.
All right. Thank you. Any other question? Yes, please. This is our last question for this panel, and then we will close.
Good afternoon. I'm RB, inspiring entrepreneur. As a wife of an OFW, the question is, kasi nasa puso ko yung business. And ang challenge doon is magkalayo kami. So how am I going to say na let's meet halfway? Paano namin may start yung business, or how paano namin mas madedevelop na okay, kaya namin to mag-start, mag-continue ng business, na si husband as an OFW nakafocus siya sa kanyang work. Kasi umiikot yung mind niya sa work. So, ako naman as an government employee, so may work din ako at the same time, and meron din akong anak, nahati yung oras ko. But then, since mas gusto ko na nasa business ako, I'm here, and I'm trying to gather information or data na paano namin naharapin yung mga challenges. Aside sa alam ko kung paano mag-organize, even sa money, but paano namin mahaharapin yung mga challenges, lalo na kung wala kami masyado mga nakakasama na business-minded. Thank you.
Sige, Carl.
Avi ba? Tama?
RV.
RV. Thank you for that question, and I wish you good luck. You know what's really good thing with you and your husband? You have a financial side of the business, and you have the person who runs the business, which is you. It's a perfect tandem, para kang merong grasya. No? Para kang merong grasya as a startup, kasi it's the husband who earns the money, send the money, and you start the business. The thing is that it's very challenging kasi magkahiwalay kayo, right? But then again, on the other hand, if you guys, you agree on the things that you really wanted to do, ano ba talagang gusto natin gawin? Ano bang business itong gusto natin gawin? Then, agreement, plan it, the goals na nasabi ko kanina, small, medium, large, or long-term goals. Pag pinalo nyo, then you go start as a slow start. Feel the water, sabi nga natin. I don't know, I'm not sure kung anong klaseng business ang pinaplano ninyo. But then if you start slow, and then see, right? Kasi sabi ko nga, hindi naman yan overnight, no? Hindi naman to overnight, successful na ako. Oh, I don't know, ang dami na akong pera, pwede na ako mag-resign. No. You go slow, and then when you think that's the right time, then hubby could be coming home. And then here comes Gracia. Here comes Gracia, who will support the small businesses. And they come to you, they come to this financial help and support, and help the small businesses. Everybody happy. Yeah, but then it makes your relationship stronger with this challenge. I'm telling you.
All right. Thank you very much, Carl. So, bitin po, alam ko. So, abangan niyo po kami sa GMA Pinoy TV on Facebook and the YouTube. Marami pong kwento ron ng mga successful global Pinoy entrepreneurs. And hopefully, may natutunan kayo sa ating panel. Thank you very much to our guests from abroad and different parts of the world. And our captain, in behalf of the seafaring community. And thank you to the organizers of this event. We hope to see you again next year for another round of this discussion. Thank you very much and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you po. Good gozaimasu.
Ay, kausap ka namin. Ay, hindi kausap namin kayo.
Ay, meron pa pala. Okay.
Would like to request our panel speakers to stay for a group photo op.
We are presenting our panelists with tokens of appreciation. This is an artwork by the artist Christine Sogilon. It is specially designed for global Filipinos. The theme of this series of artworks is Pinoys to the world. So thank you very much. We hope this will find space in your office or business locations. Maraming salamat pong muli.